Test. Test. Alright, that sounds good. There we go. 720. Lovely. Hey everyone on the second channel, just messing with some settings. Let's go public. It's weird talking to you guys because people on the second channel, because I know you're not going to be watching until a lot later. But yeah, hope everyone's good. Didn't want to stream on a Monday, but based on my schedule this week, I thought it'd be better. And then I hope everyone's video tomorrow. That should be good. Good. And I think we have fixed the resolution finally, which is nice because it was at 360 for weeks. No, I'll just post this on Discord and Reddit. I'm a bit sniffly, annoyingly. I think because I've been sleeping my fan on, but it's getting a lot colder. But yeah, a quick stream. Gotta be a bit consistent with it. Oh shit, people are just talking about Discord. Oh shit it out. Just not used to the temperature change, it really stuffy nose. But yeah, I want to talk about gamer oppression. We'll see how that goes. Hello D, thanks for being the first in. Hope you're good. Let me see I got all the right tabs up. Oh my god, my nose, man. Not ideal. But it only kicked in after I filmed my video, which was good. Because if it was the other way around, oh no, come on. My resolution is not good again. Seems okay. Oh man, really sorry. I don't know what's happened. It's just it's gotten cold suddenly, and I woke up with a fan in my face. I get really hot anyway, and then I went to play football, and it was quite cold. And for some reason, when I sweat loads, my nose goes all funny. Don't know what it is. It was good to get back into it though. Played a really good game. We played the team top of the league, and then they scored like 3 straight away, and I was like, oh, we're screwed. But then we did all right actually. Came back, drew 12-12. It's 5-a-side league, but still fun. Sorry, I'm trying to get the comments. I was checking things out. Oh, fucking hell. But gamers are being oppressed. That's what I'm announcing today. Let's see what you guys are saying. Hey Katie, thanks for joining. Yeah, what state are you in? How hot is it at the moment? Gamers are the most oppressed race. Socialism is when my dad takes away my Xbox. Screen time limits, buyers America. Yeah. To be honest, when I read this news, I remember my mum used to take away our games in the week. Sorry, can I change my output while we're going? Don't think I can. Sorry if the quality is bad. I've been messing with the settings, and to me it looks better actually, but like I don't know. Apparently it's still not good, which is very annoying. I'm keeping it at 470. It's hot as fucking southern US right now. Yeah, what's that like? 30 degrees Celsius still? Hi, Speaker Kitty. Thanks for joining. Oh, fuck me. Sorry, just got my mask. Got to put that on. Cool shades. Yeah, I don't really like these to be honest, but I wear them just because. All right. Can I feel some solidarity from someone, please? Because I've been trying to find people who have this exact problem. All right, so when it's worse when I use something like Google Docs or Word. When you have text on a screen, all right. So let's it can happen really. So like, here's my little notebook for my videos. So say this was like an iPad, right? I would read it. Sometimes I read and then I look away and I just have horizontal lines on my vision. It seems to be worse when when I haven't slept as much, right? I've had this for like the last year and a bit. Please tell me someone else has this, because basically what happened is when I started having really bad neurological problems, which thankfully I don't really get anymore, my vision changed. So I was really sensitive to like bright lights, like got like the starbursts and like streaks of light everywhere. My girlfriend says she's always had this. So some of you might have always had this and not known about it, but I didn't used to have it. That's why I wear these. Someone I got recently. But yeah, please tell me someone else has the line thing. I don't want to feel alone. Because it feels like I'm going crazy. How's demon time? Yeah, it's okay. I had my dinner. Had some cake. Had some coffee. I might play some video games. Filmed my video on David Pacman. Because there's only 32 of you in the chat. Let me know this thing, right? Would any of you be surprised, because a lot of people were, that if I say I don't like David Pacman's politics? Is that surprising to people? Because it seems to be really surprising for most people in my last video. Because I was like, yeah, I don't like David Pacman, I don't like Jimmy Dore, blah, blah, blah. And people were like, oh, I'm really surprised you don't like them. And I was like, it's weird that some of you find this surprising. Your post about Demon Time always looks like you were in Breaking Bad. The one with my sunglasses on. Not really. He's a Zionist, yeah. That's what my video is basically about. Here's something so funny, right? So he made a video in 2016. And this guy's 37 now, so I'm not giving him a pass. He said BDS... Black Lives Matter shouldn't endorse BDS because it's bad optics, and loads of prominent black activists in the past supported Israel. Someone he name-dropped was Malcolm X as like a supporter of Israel. And I was like, bro, like, Malcolm X supporting Israel? Like, what world do you live in? Like, Malcolm X was strongly anti-Israel, and I'd say like some of his rhetoric on Israel kind of does border on anti-Semitic, because he talks about like the money side basically. But then I talk about that in my video. I'm just like, this guy is like bordering on anti-Semitic with some of his tropes he talks about with Israel. He's strongly against Israel, and you're saying that Black Lives Matter shouldn't do BDS because Malcolm X, in your weird view, supported Israel. It's 2:18 where I am. Yeah, basically for me, I say I find him inoffensive, but his takes on like socialism and Israel are bad. Does David Pacman not consider himself white? That might be why he also says Israel isn't racist to black people. And I made the point that like, although like obviously Jews have suffered like immensely at the hands of white supremacy, it's also ridiculous to say that there isn't white supremacy in Israel itself from the European Jewish population, like the Russian Jews, for example. And obviously how they treat... His argument basically was, obviously, Israel has really bad racism against Ethiopian Jews. His argument was, if Israel was so racist, why wouldn't they just go live in Gaza or Palestine or something? And I was like, what? I was like, yeah, I don't think Jewish people want to go live in Gaza because of like Hamas and stuff. But I also think probably a lot of Ethiopian Jews would tell you that there is racism against them, and Palestinian Jews would probably tell you there's racism against them and stuff by Israel. Yeah, he's from Argentina. He's born in Argentina and he's Jewish. How crap was United versus Wolves though? Yeah, it was a bad game, But like, it was a massive win though, just for like sticking us right up there. Like, I don't. Hopefully they pick it up like when Ronaldo comes in, but Luna, why does your friend have to go to Israel? The Nation of Islam does have an anti-Semitism problem. Yeah, Malcolm X did leave the Nation of Islam, and his the leader had him fucking assassinated. Oh, sorry, my nose. But okay, here's another question, just so we're getting warmed up quick. So I want to make a video on North Korean defectors who are right-wing grifters, because I don't know how many of you watched my video on Friday. That Yeonmi Park is basically saying like critical race theory is like living in North Korea or some shit. She's like a North Korean defector. And apparently she's funded by a big right-wing think tank. So I wanted to focus on her because she'd been popping up on all the right-wing podcast channels. Two questions. Is there a North Korean defector who you trust with their account of living there? And are there any more right-wing grifting North Koreans? Because I want to make a video on that this week. That's weird. Why do they have to go? I mean, I can understand why they would be encouraged. Obviously, it's like all those stories, but it'd be kind of weird that like you're requested to go. Where's my fucking tissue? Oh my god. I trust Kim Jong-un, not the North Korean booze. No, it's not simps for North Korea. It's people who grift on being North Korean, pandering to a right-wing audience. And that's what I wanted to find out, how many of them there are. Also, I'm going to do my own research. So David Pakman video tomorrow, not monetized, annoyingly, because I'm talking about fucking Israel and other stuff. Talking about like the definition of genocide. So yeah, that ain't getting monetized. North Korean one hopefully would get monetized, but I don't know about that. And then Friday, I'm not sure what I'll make. Either I wanted to make one on Hunter Avalon, but I need to watch his content, so I don't know if I have that free time to do that this week. Also, because I'm actually proud of this video, watch my MLK in Fortnite video. That's one of my favourites lately. Also, how's the stream looking, by the way? Because people have been complaining a lot, but I've got it up on screen for myself now, and it looks okay. It was looking like shit last couple of weeks. Looks fine. Are you on your phone, Katie, or are you on the computer? Cardox, Kavernacle Extra, my second channel. I put all the stream archives up there eventually. But yeah, go for that. There you go. Stream is fine on my phone. Yeah, it always looks fine on the phone. Who got assassinated again? Oh no, I'm talking about Malcolm X getting assassinated by the leader of the Nation of Islam in the 60s. Okay, you're on your phone as well. I haven't researched David Patman's brother. But the funny thing is, I said if you're gonna mention black voices, opinions on Israel, you might want to actually not misquote Malcolm X, and maybe you'd also want to quote Nelson Mandela, who was like extremely pro-Palestinian. Like he literally went to Gaza talking about the PLO being like our brothers in arms. Malcolm X visited the PLO as well. So it's crazy. It's like this annoys me sometimes. Like when I think back on my recordings, I recorded this video tonight. It's like I didn't make the point that it looks like shit. A white person or a white Jewish person saying like, "Oh, Black Lives Matter. Here's a bunch of black people who said they support Israel. Therefore, you should support Israel as well." What's worse, staying in North Korea or being a grifter who guess right wingers? Probably a grifter for right wingers, only because right wingers are the powerful people, and like obviously, you saw how like easy you could reach Trump and like put more sanctions on a place or something. So I'd say grifting when you come out of North Korea, because you're just gonna make the lives worse of people who live there, like playing into the narrative against them and stuff. Um, okay, LD, that's interesting. I'll check out that Vice thing. Was Farrakhan the leader at the moment? Do you mean in the 1965? Well, I'll check. I'll check who it was. It wasn't Louis Farrakhan. It was like the founder. One sec. Did anyone watch a documentary on Netflix? Who killed Malcolm X? Cory Booker did a campaign ad with a guy who shot Malcolm X. It's Elijah Muhammad killed Malcolm X. So four Nation of Islam soldiers in New Jersey travelled to New York and shot Malcolm X. The FBI knew about it because they had loads of informants in the Nation of Islam, and Malcolm X is in a circle. But I think they covered it up. And then the last guy only died a couple years ago, and he was like a prominent person in the New Jersey community. Funnily enough, Cory Booker has done campaign ads with him because he's like a pillar of the community. And then afterwards, when he died, he found out that this guy actually confessed to shooting Malcolm X. Blake, what leftists are Zionist? Like, here's a thing I think sometimes people get confused with. Probably should make it clear in my video, right? I've seen people say, like, do you think Israel should exist? Okay, therefore you're a Zionist. And I think the difference is, right, I say I'm anti-Zionist because I'm anti the ideology that founded Israel. I'm anti them thinking there is some right to this land because of their history, because of their God and stuff. I'm against that, right? But I'm not naive. Israel is one of the most powerful countries in the history, not history as well, but like in the world right now. Really good military, very advanced technology, probably has nuclear weapons. I accept Israel existing as a reality. Like, it's not going anywhere. I accept that. Because some people say, like, if you're anti-Zionist, you want, like, I don't know, every person in Israel to be killed or something and, like, get rid of Israel. Like, that, I don't understand how that, like, comes across. Like, ideally, it wouldn't have been created in the first place, right? By, like, Western powers and obviously, like, supporting this Palestinian Jewish struggle, then obviously the European Jewish struggle after the war. Ideally, that would have happened, but I accept the reality. Numerous times it fought wars with the Arab neighbours to maintain its, like, sovereignty and shit like that. So Israel exists. I accept that. I can still be an anti-Zionist, though. Like, it's so crazy to me. A lot of people think that by saying you're an anti-Zionist somehow means you support, like, some sort of, like, Hamas ideology where you want to wipe Israel out and kill everyone there. Like, I don't understand how that's the same thing. I'm anti any ideology which is for, like, settler colonialism, and that includes, like, obviously fucking unionism in Northern Ireland and stuff. Oh, hi Jonathan, thanks for joining. First time you see me live. Someone else messaged saying it's the first time. Oh, Bunk, hey Bunk, recently subbed. I appreciate that. Enjoy your content. Thanks for saying. Okay, I didn't see that, Luna, the anti-Semitism in the Fortnite shirt. So I'm just reading some more comments. Oh, okay. David Pakman's brother is associated with the Anti-Defamation League. Yeah, that's my problems with them as well. I don't think that's, like, it's not as much. It's not enough of, like, a, like, Zionist or pro-Israeli thing. It is pro-Israel, obviously, but I mean, like, it's not as much to be like, oh, he's saying it because of that reason. Well, like, most of the original founders of Israel were, like, communists and socialists from Eastern Europe. and obviously the USSR supported Israel to start with. But obviously, it's just colonialism, isn't it? It's just like you're supporting this Jewish homeland at the expense of all the people who live there. I mean, it's fucking messy. Like 1948 and post-war is a mess because obviously what happened. Even going back to Poland and like the pogroms against them by Polish people after the war, it's just fucking awful. But like the thing I always say is, I'm someone who knows loads about like Jewish persecution by Christians, because I've done all like the medieval history. I've done all this history, right? So like consistently, Jewish people are some of the most persecuted people in just like European history. That's like pretty indisputable. But then I still obviously don't agree. Like Palestinians, to me, they've just been. Obviously, you do have some Palestinians who become, I think, like regional leaders under the Ottomans and stuff. But for me, like the Palestinians have never really been in control of their own destiny, and various warlords like Saladin owned the area when he conquered it off the Crusaders. Crusaders owned it. Ottomans owned it. Then like the British owned it. Then now the Israelis own it and stuff. So I see them as victims of anything, because like that's what I said in my David Patman video I made. It's just like there are so many warring factions in like the conflict, but like the Palestinians who make up part of the conflict are so much more minor compared to like Jordan, Egypt, Syria and stuff. And most of these people just are caught in these wars, and they suffer the most. So it's an annoying thing for me. It's like especially if from an Irish background, like I think someone once said they were surprised I wasn't a Zionist, and I was like, come from like an Irish background where like loads of my family were killed as victims of like a settler colonial ideology, and it's really easy to draw parallels between like Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland and Israel and Palestine. Yeah. Anyway, I think the only good thing is I think it's changing a bit with left-wing people. Do I live in the UK? Yep, in London. Well, better person. That's what a lot of the time they use for justification. But then like, obviously it's a massive part of it. But there were like pro-Zionist insurgent groups fighting the British before the war and during the war. Yeah, Blake, that US drone strike is so fucked up. It killed 10 people of the same family. So what, the US leave Afghanistan today just to leave a little present for them to remember you by, you killed 10 civilians. And apparently most of the casualties at the airport bombing were killed by the US. They weren't killed by ISIS. Crazy. Just like such a shit show, man. I mean, like Biden deserves criticism as an extension of the US deserving criticism. US and UK are just not getting those interpreters and people who work with the Americans and British out of the country. That's what they all deserve criticism for. That's been going on for ages. Like, I made my video about that Chuck Lorre sitcom about the Afghan interpreter and saying it's in really bad taste because most of them don't even get to move here or like move to America. Where did I put the coffee? I'll switch to water. I'll read this gaming thing in a bit. But like I was saying, it's like, it reminds me of my mum when I was a kid. We used to have our DSs. It was quite funny, actually. I mean, I don't have any memories like this. This is my last little story, and then we'll get into the issue stuff. Also, like the stream if you're here. Yeah, our stream numbers have gone down. It's weird. My stream numbers have gone down quite a lot, I think, because I've been inconsistent. But my video views are like really similar, and my subs have been good. People just don't like the streams anymore. It's sad. I also am thinking of getting out my PS4 and just setting up the streaming. Might stream some Tetris one day. See if I've got a free day on a weekend. People are interested. Tetris or Death Stranding. Oh yeah, so let me know if you guys have any other memories. So I remember my mum used to let us play video games in the week, right? But we had Animal Crossing Wild World on the DS, and obviously like the shops open at like 8 a.m. Or maybe 8:30. I don't remember when they opened. And then we would beg our mum like, we have to check it. We have to have a go before school because we need to check the shops. And she would let us do that for like 10 minutes, and that's about it. And I remember we slowly pressured her as we got a bit older to let us play games in the week. But then we still weren't allowed like adult games, so I had to buy like Mafia 2 and like Grand Theft Auto 4 off my friends at school. And we always used to play like Grand Theft Auto 4 after school, just like join a lobby, like 5 of us. And you all start at like this one place, and it's just get to the airport, get the Sultan RS, and just like kill each other and team up. But yeah, like that's what I was saying with the China thing. I was like, when I was a kid in the week, just weren't allowed to play games. I don't understand how a communist can be a Zionist. Yeah, it seems very weird. Yeah, and Andreas, I've seen something. I'll tell you about in a sec. It's really hard to enforce, but I'll tell you why. Pirating anime is digital colonialism. I think maybe one of the main reasons for pirating anime would probably be the access is really bad. Like, not all anime is released in like the West. But yeah, I wouldn't call it digital colonialism. The only reason I wouldn't call it that is because mainly Japan have a massive cultural footprint. It's not like some country that no one knows about. I'm dark Irish. I thought they mostly had red hair. Most Irish people don't have red hair. Most Irish people have like fair hair, so like brown these days. A couple have black, like me. Or like really dark brown. Any thoughts on the Fortnite event? I made a whole video about it, which I thought was good, so go check that out if you want to hear my take. Yeah, Israelis treat the Ethiopian Jews terribly. Yep, they do. Okay. It's 2 a.m. It is indeed. You normally stream while I'm at work. Oh, where are you at the moment? Are you on the night shift, or are we just really far away from each other? We're too busy playing video games before they give us 3-hour weekly limits too. Do I believe petitions do anything? Not really. In the UK, you have to debate it in Parliament if it's over 100k. Phantom Pain more than Death Stranding. I think Phantom Pain, it depends what you like really. Phantom Pain was more about combat and stealth. Death Stranding is more about like traversal. I like both a lot. I'm hyped for the director's cut actually. I'm going to buy that. But yeah, I like both a lot. I don't need to choose. But Phantom Pain was cool, just a bit undercut with the story. The gaming community is full of racist incels. Yep. Cav, I have noticed you streaming earlier, and if I'm at work, I obviously can't join, but like hopefully you'll get a schedule for yourself, but works best. I think this is like my old streaming time, like 2:30, but I have streamed a bit earlier because I've been in different places. Luna saying they had a pretty unregulated childhood where I could use a PC with no limits from the moment I was old enough. So that's pretty cool. Why don't you do content on UK politics? I did a couple of weeks ago on that shooter guy. Simply put, most of you are not from England. You don't care about British politics. And frankly, my channel isn't really about like straight up politics anymore. It used to be like 2 years ago. But I've shifted. I call it like internet online politics. So it's a bit different. Are there blonde Irish people? Yep. But most of them don't look like Brave from that Pixar film. Or like, what's her name from Brave? The princess in it. The most non-Irish looking Irishman I've ever witnessed. You haven't seen some of my family then. because they look like me. Blonde and red mostly. No, they're not. Irish people are not blonde. What are you talking about? Irish people definitely are not blonde. Red maybe a bit more. I'm on the night shift right now. Awesome. What are you doing, Spider-Man? What's your job? That's strange. Never. My family are from Dublin mainly, so not the West Coast. I was brought up in Lego games. I like Lego games, but they are actually kind of hard for children, I find. Boris Johnson would do our head in. Yeah, you'd be annoyed if I just talk about Boris Johnson. Also, I just like YouTube as like a nice little escape from the horribleness of British politics. I had to fight tooth and nail my mother for the right to play Star Wars Battlefront. I remember playing that as a kid as well. Thought it was the absolute best thing ever. When I played the first Battlefront game, I was like, oh man, this is literally the best game I've ever played. Ireland is beautiful. The most I've explored it is in Assassin's Creed, to be honest. Alright, let's get into a story quick, and I'll talk to you about how people get around these laws. So, I was reading a comment today. Apparently, China has had laws on children playing games for since 2007. So, China now limiting video games play to just 3 hours a week for minors. Oh, man, I'm cold. China is taking increasingly drastic steps to curb video game addiction in its younger population, and this latest move may make observers wonder if the country is on the path to banning games entirely for minors. Previously, the already tight rules for minors, usually classified as under 18 in China, allowed for 1.5 hours of video game play each day. Now the new rules allow for just 1 hour a day, and only on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, for a grand total of 3 hours a week. That's crazy, man. Enforcement is usually linked to real name ID accounts being tracked by companies that are forced to comply with the rules where they operate in China, which means you can be kicked off a game after the hour expires and you won't be let in outside of those specific hours. And they are very specific hours, only between 8 and 9 p.m. on 3 weekend days. That's for an estimated 110 million minors who play video games in China, concentrated into a specific hour per day. It's an open question on whether that could create server clogs for certain games. Oh. So I'm not sure how this affects single-player games. So maybe it could be a good way to get kids to play single-player games because they all love their cringe Fortnite. The move is so restrictive, it's approaching the point where you have to wonder how much meaningful investment these kids can even have in these games, limiting to just 3 hours a week. Granted, much of China's gaming is mobile, which often means shorter games, but trying to make progress at that pace in most games, which are not set up for that little amount of concentrated play, may prove frustrating. It's also easy to imagine that such a specific short window, you could easily run into problems in matches of games like League of Legends, being cut off midway through depending on how long they go on. Of course, Chinese government doesn't care about this. They care about getting kids unhooked from games, which they view as a persistent problem in the country. Almost no other regions of the world have gaming restrictions anywhere close to this. And while many parents in say, the US complain about their kids being addicted to one game or another, something tells me they wouldn't love a government mandate limiting their kids' free time either. Player spending among minors in China is low, but that's because of its limits that are already in place, but this will now drive it down even further. It seems unlikely this will get any less restrictive in time, and China seems inches away from just banning games entirely for minors. So I want to talk about one thing here. So there's a guy from China who was talking on Reddit. I can't find the comment now. So basically, when you sign up for a game account to play an online game, you have to give an ID, and it has to be a government, your government issued ID, right? But apparently, what most kids do in China anyway to get around the 10.5 hours is just hand over their parents' ID or an older siblings. So a lot of kids in China, it says 110 million minors who play games. A lot of them don't actually use their own IDs, so they are actually playing for a lot longer, and that's how they get around it. But yeah, here's somewhere where gamers are being oppressed for once. Now, the thing is, gaming addiction is a real thing, and I know, in certain cultures, they prioritise, everything over, stuff like video games, and, I don't know what the cultural view of gaming is in China, is it seen as a really bad hobby? Probably. Is it seen as a massive waste of time compared to anything else? But yeah, it's a pretty drastic action, isn't it? Imagine if you could only play 3 hours of games a week. What would you even play? I think if I was only playing 3 hours, I would play an hour. If I was playing online 3 hours a week, I'd play an hour of Pro Evolution Soccer Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, if that's when I was allowed. In the comments, in the chat comments, if you could only play games for 3 hours a week, 1 hour on a Friday, 1 hour on a Saturday, and 1 hour on a Sunday, what would you play online? I assume single player games are alright. Like, how are they going to monitor me if I'm playing like Skyrim offline? So, but like they're saying, the mobile gaming market in China is crazy. So I'm guessing that's what people are really thinking about this law. Live chat. Sorry, read some more comments. Can I just play offline? I assume so. China is oppressing gamers. Gamers, right? Yeah, gamers rise up. But also, when it's time, you must rise down. You don't want to. You don't want to know what it looks like when gamers run riot without rising down. Ian, what mechanics in Death Stranding would drive you insane? Sorry. Why is this anti-China propaganda suddenly everywhere? Are you talking to me? That's going to create a black market for IP addresses. It will be interesting to see what happens. Damn, 1 hour a week on a Saturday. If I was in hospital, I'd want to be banging out. That's what I said to my mum the other day. I was like, when I go to an old people's home one day, hopefully I make it to that age, I'm just fucking putting on a VR headset. Why are people still talking about Jimmy Dore's house? Is there a Jimmy Dore stand? Yeah, it seems like it. Let's read some more stuff. Okay, so what would you guys play if you play 3 hours a week? Halo Online. Depends which one. Are you talking about some of the classics like Master Chief Collection, GTA 5? Yeah, that's not a bad shout. Smite. I have no really perspective of how long it takes to play a Smite game. The Chinese version of Halo looked cool, and the Russian version. Modern Warfare custom games, nice. CK3, what's that? Smite as well. Dota, NBA, Overwatch. Oblivion offline, yeah. Just play ball. Well, I mean, I play football a fair bit, but I mean, if I had 3 hours on a weekend. Angry Birds. Is that online? Angry Birds, that's a throwback. Is that even still around? If it applied to single player games, take at least 20 weeks to complete Red Dead. It took me fucking 3 months to complete that normally. Kavernacle thoughts on Newcastle? You mean the place or the football team? I don't know. The team, it's not the worst, but people hate Bruce and they're a bit spineless in defence. But yeah, we'll see how it goes this season. Shouldn't have got rid of Benitez. Oh. Sorry, just. I mean, Fallout probably is banned in China, but I'm not sure. A fellow Geordie. We've got 2 Geordies in the chat. We've got the true Geordie in the chat. Resident Evil Village. Yeah, not bad. But let's say you can play that one offline. Halo 3, a Master Chief Collection. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, Jimmy Dore sold a horse too well. That is the craziest shit. I don't want to talk about it on stream because I don't want to get my channel flagged. But yeah, it's dumb as hell. Oh, Crusader Kings. Alright. Witcher. Yeah, good choice. Oh, Shin Megami Tensei. Alright. I played Tinder. Well, you can play that anyway. That's not an answer. I'm so happy. I went into a relationship with my girlfriend before Tinder was even invented. It seems like the fucking worst way to meet people. Red Lead, I don't know if it was you telling me this. There was a first-person shooter made in Vietnam set during the first Indochina War. And it actually looked pretty solid. Like, I would play it. It looked kind of old, but, like, pretty good as well. Yeah, it's crazy how bad China and India are at football. Even America to some extent. America's getting a lot better, though. Tinder is a fun game. What are people playing at the moment? So I completed The Last of Us 2 last night. I'd love to talk about it, but I don't want to spoil it for people. But I completed it again. I'd already completed it once. But it's cool playing it, because basically I played it again for my Last of Us 2 is actually about Israeli politics, which it is. So I want to write that script this month and hopefully get the video out this month. But like, playing it again, I just noticed a lot more things, like my perspective on the game. Pretty cool. Splitgate is really good, Arlo. I'm really enjoying that. I've been playing that a bit. But it's literally such a rip-off of Halo. Like, it's not even just looks the same, it feels the same. Like, the guns feel so similar. Phrasemonger, I completed The Witcher 4 times already, and I nearly done my 5th time on the Switch. But I've only completed Blood and Wine once. I don't know if I should wait for the PS5 upgrade and then do Blood and Wine then. But yeah, Splitgate is very good. Battlefield 4 was banned in China. Yeah, because China's the bad guys. My PS5 shuts off. Oh, is it broken? Shit. Far Cry 3? Yeah, that's pretty good. Far Cry 2 is a good game. Like, that's underrated. 3, 4, 5, they're all good, but like 2 was like a bit more unique. Alright, let's talk about the other thing quick. So, the US finally withdrew from Afghanistan today. I've made a couple videos. We had a whole stream about this where I talked about it extensively when I didn't have a little sniffly nose. So the United States completed the withdrawal of its forces on Afghanistan from Afghanistan on Monday, ending 20 years of war that culminated in Taliban's return to power. Forced into a hasty and humiliating exit, Washington and its NATO allies carried out a massive but chaotic airlift over the past 2 weeks, but still left behind tens of thousands of Afghans who helped Western countries and might have qualified for evacuation. I can't even say it just because of my nose. Gunfire rang out in Kabul after completion of the US pullout that ended America's longest war. Taliban spokesman Qari Yusuf said the last US soldiers left Kabul airport and our country has gained complete independence. A contingent of Americans, under 200 and possibly close to 100, wanted to leave but were unable to get on the last flights. That's pretty crazy. 100 Americans left there. Joe Biden defended his decision to stick to a Tuesday deadline for withdrawal. He said he would hold the Taliban to their commitment to allow safe passage for those who wanted to leave. Now our 20-year military presence in Afghanistan has ended, said Biden. He's drawn heavy criticism, blah, 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 lots of warmongering. The 20-year conflict took the lives of nearly 2,500 US troops and an estimated 240,000 Afghans and cost $2 trillion. So that's pretty mad. Like, the deaths are relatively small for a 20-year war, but like, think of all, like, even some of those people, what was crazy, some of those soldiers who died in the ISIS attack were 20 years old or younger. And like, that's mad to me because they weren't even like alive. Well, they were just born when 9/11 happened. Mental. And then they die in a war that was justified, obviously in response to 9/11 because Bin Laden was allegedly hiding there. So, but yeah, like overall, I've done whole videos on this stuff. The warmonger, it's mainly about like the women's rights shit is my main problem. It's like that's what the comparison I made in the video was, that stuff with sati in India, where like women would burn on their husbands like funeral pyres, and the British like outlawed it, and like the Portuguese outlawed it. But like Indians had tried to outlaw it before, and they were like reformist Hindus who wanted to outlaw it at the time. But if you come in and do something like that, it's just like you need more organic development. And the main point all comes back to, it's such a shit show with the ISIS stuff. So ISIS formed as a response. So ISIS pledged allegiance to Al Qaeda, and it started by this Jordanian Salafist, was it called Al Sakari, and he came to fight in the insurgency in Iraq, right? So ISIS is a response to the US, and then ISIS in 2014 was controlled by ex-Saddam Hussein army people, and then you have this new ISIS element in Afghanistan fighting the Taliban who were kicked out of power by the US, but the Taliban who also came from the Mujahideen, who were funded and trained by the CIA and the US, given state-of-the-art weaponry. And then it's just such a fucking mess. Like, the Taliban are killing people who helped the US, and then they're fighting people who were created by the Iraq War done by the US. And it's literally, this is what pissed me off so much about the US. The US just sends these regions into complete like spirals, and then the US actually barely accepts any refugees generally. Like, if you look at the amount of Syrian refugees they accepted comparatively to European countries under Trump, it was so small. It was barely anything. And it's like, they fuck up the world, and then it's like, because they're far away, it's like, not our business. Whereas because European countries are in like close proximity, obviously refugees can get there pretty like easily, relatively. And it's just crazy the US never accepts any responsibility. And then it all goes back to like, if you cared about women's rights and you didn't like Islamicism or Islamist terrorism, then you wouldn't have funded so many different elements of the Mujahideen to fight the Soviets and to fight the communist government of Afghanistan. But also, the funny thing is, Brzezinski, Carter's, I don't know if he was National Security Advisor, because I wrote my dissertation on post Vietnam foreign policy of Carter's administration. That was my history dissertation. When he was asked about how do you feel about unlocking this like Pandora's box of Islamicist terrorism, he was like, it was worth it to end the Soviet Union. But this was in 1999, 2 years before 9/11. So I wonder if he ever backed down. That's Mika Brzezinski's dad, the one who's married to Joe Scarborough and does that show with him. If you're wondering how she got that job, it's because her dad was in the Carter administration. But yeah, it's just a fucking mess. It's just like, and also like Biden obviously had to leave, but like I was saying earlier, is the problem with getting people out who the Taliban were targeting has been just going on for like over a decade now. There's so many people who were killed and murdered by the Taliban for helping the West, and they're just never easily allowed out. So it sucks. All right. ISIS K sounds like serious. What does the K stand for? Read some comments. Primal's a good one actually as well. I like Primal, very unique. US soccer team is young. Yeah, they have some good players for sure. Like, it's the best US squad I've seen in some time, to be honest. Yeah, Splitgate is awesome. Yeah, I really like Splitgate. Yeah, Ian, I really like Uncharted, especially Uncharted 4, which is directed by the same guy who did the Last of Us games. Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 are really solid, especially 2. I don't really rate them that much. I'd say 4 is really good, and Lost Legacy, but I think Last of Us is just a way better franchise. Yeah, like, Sam, that's a problem. My mom thought the same thing. But like I actually wrote my master's thesis on this a bit, and especially in some of my like surveying, like polling data, what I found with younger people is it's probably older people as well, but younger people could not differentiate between Afghanistan and Iraq broadly. which makes sense because we grew up with that shit happening. How do we understand the nuance? Okay, I understand the nuances because I love history and politics and I studied it loads. So yeah, I know how they're like completely different, but a lot of people don't. And I said this on another stream that I feel like the generation younger than me, like Gen Z, is it? Would I just had a better view on the Israel situation because they couldn't be manipulated as easily by saying like, oh, like Hamas, like Al Qaeda, and like that means it's like just like the same thing as 9/11 or some shit like that. Like they couldn't be manipulated with the narrative that like all Muslim extremist groups or like fundamentalist groups are like the exact same thing and all together. But yeah, your mum's not alone. My mum said the same thing. But Taliban killed a ISIS-K leader like a week before that bombing as well. Yeah, it wasn't the Taliban, it was ISIS. The thing is, for a lot of fundamentalist Muslims, the Taliban are apostates because of their like cultural practices and tribal practices, which like go against Islam. So it's not surprising other fundamentalists don't like them. But like, yeah, ISIS like, Taliban only care about Pakistan, well, the Pakistani Taliban and Afghanistan, because they're an ethnic group or like mostly made up of Pashtun fighters and stuff, whereas ISIS want global caliphate and stuff. Yeah, Katie. What about the women, especially like the little girls they just killed today? Yeah, Tom, I agree. Like, people can. I think some people are just like, oh, got to give Biden all the credit, but at the same time, he it could have been planned better. Why couldn't the U.S. military there with the Afghan military? Why couldn't they hold on to Kabul for like another month? Is it not defendable? Like maybe just like have the okay, not another month. Let's say they planned it earlier, so they were evacuating from July to the end of August. Get everyone out who you promised a better life and that they could come, and then get hand over to the Taliban. Like it was just really poorly planned. It was just like, yeah, fuck it, we're going, and I hope you guys are right on your own. I mean, yeah, they had to leave, but I think it does kind of matter the way, because the thing is for me, it's like, you know, I don't want them to stay. Obviously, like I'm saying, it's imperialism, it's colonialism, but at the same time, you've promised so many people help. They've helped you because they want to go to America. A lot of them, you promised them they could, and then you just leave them to be murdered. So. El Chapo Jr. just felt like supporting a real one. Thanks for $2. Appreciate it so much. Very funny. I am a real one, I hope. US ladies are usually good at soccer. Yeah, US women are really good at football normally. Oh. Yes, Samuel, they haven't evacuated people for years despite promising them. So many people have been murdered by the Taliban for helping. We need critical thinking. Why do you just join the chats to just say random random nonsense? I'm not even from America. Arlo, I haven't watched Ted Lasso. All I remember, it was like some shitty marketing campaign or adverts ages ago, which I always found really cringy. But Ted Lasso is filmed and is about a place which I go to a lot. I don't live there, but like it's like quite a popular place in London, which most people would go to because it's nice. So it's kind of weird seeing it all filmed around areas I've sort of grown up in. But yeah, apparently it's just all about like positivity and shit. I love soccer, but yeah, it's not for me. I'm not about the positive TV shows. I don't watch comedies either. Like, can't remember the last comedy I watched. I will say though, even though I try not to be a normie, I really like The Bad Batch. I finished that on Saturday. The animation on that show is like literally the best animation I've ever seen. It's so so good. And what pisses me off is they're making a Blade Runner series, an animated series. It's got like really good voice actors, like really famous actors in it. It looks like total fucking garbage, and I'm like, why can't they just animate it like this? Like the it's obviously like the Disney bucks, but like it just looks so good. The finale was really good as well. Like so I'm a bit of a normie for Star Wars. Like I love Star Wars, and I'll watch it all. But in terms of like comedies and shit, like the only comedy I'll stick on is like all the Simpsons episodes they've got on Disney Plus. Like I ain't watching Ted Lasso. I'll never probably watch The Office again, even though I did find it quite funny. Modern Family I never finished, even though that was on a lot when I was growing up. Just comedies for me, like I like serious TV shows, not funny stuff. It just doesn't do much for me. Like and the Marvel stuff I watch as well. Like Loki's quite funny. I haven't finished it though. Yeah, Red Leader. I used to write about this. So basically, Pakistan. You'd actually like this stuff, Red Leader, if you read about it. So, Pakistan like the Afghan Taliban. Pakistan hate the Pakistani Taliban. The Pakistani Taliban hate the Pakistan government. They get on well enough with the Afghan Taliban, but they have fought each other before, and like Pakistan intelligence like helped the Taliban in the civil war in the 90s. It's really complex, but like they generally get on, but they're very very different. And they're also like Pakistani Taliban, like they're what's the word? I say they're more fanatical. Like they're happy to target civilians a lot more. They're not really in a process of nation building. But yeah, yeah, they're the ones who shot that Malala in the head. But yeah, they're crazy. But basically, they're all the same ethnicity pretty much. But they're kind of different though. And I won't talk about polio vaccinations, but also the difference in how they handle that stuff is quite interesting as well. Leftist fraud squad. Really critical thinking. I think you could get some good critical thinking skills if you went to college or something, because you're a fucking idiot. And I don't know why you're here just to try and troll people. Because I said I didn't like Jimmy Dore in like one video. Okay, the State Department thought the Afghan army would fight. Do you really blame them for not though? Got like really corrupt leaders and criminals running the country. Who saw that video of the Taliban all wearing US Army outfits? It was really funny. They're literally wearing full US Army outfits with like night vision goggles on their head, and they're all carrying like some sort of like I don't know M4 variants and stuff. It's really really fucking weird to see because normally you just see them in like their pretty ordinary outfits. But then they're all wearing night vision goggles. It's so bizarre. Yeah, they literally I think it's like 300,000 assault rifles they've collected and stuff. Hi, Progressive American. Thanks for joining. Juventus is my favourite team. That would be a good game to analyse, actually. The first Medal of Honor game, you fought the Taliban in Afghanistan. That'd be quite an interesting one. Juventus is my favourite, but they looked crap the other night. I watched it against Empoli. Oh, Andor. Yeah, I'm hyped for Andor. Andor and I'm up for anything Star Wars, really. What Spooky Kitty? The ending was so good. I love the Bad Batch for showing like how the Empire became the Empire, and just seeing like some of the other characters like Rex. Obviously, Kanan was in it, and Hera, and Cham Sandula. I liked all that stuff. I like the characters. Surprisingly, I like the characters. I liked Omega, or Omega as she calls herself in her in her Kiwi accent. Got to keep true to the clones. She's got to have a Kiwi accent. Kavernacle becomes a weeb. Anime is so shit though. Like the only anime I used to watch was when I was a kid. Okay, it's not all okay. It's not all shit, but the thing is, anime all has the same fucking tropes. Like it all looks very similar, and they all have the some stupid reactions, stupid faces. But also the main thing with me, which I hate about anime, okay, I'm sorry, but it feels so exploitative of underage people. To put it nicely and not get flagged by YouTube, like I'm super uncomfortable with some of the imagery I see from anime, which are clearly underage girls and boys in their underwear wearing skimpy outfits. Like the sexualization of young people in a lot of anime is so fucking gross. And also the people who like just post that shit everywhere, like, come on. So rank. And I get like, okay, some anime looks cool. Like the guy who did what's that show being remade right now? It's getting all the hate on Netflix. The guy who did that did a cool prequel anime for Blade Runner 2049, which I thought looked cool. So some anime can look good. Wasn't there an anime in Kill Bill as well, which looked cool? Just wait till the night vision goggles ran out of batteries. They're also walking in a hangar with loads of helicopters as well. Seeing that video is so weird. Yeah, it was really weird. What's Mount Tantis, Red Leader? Is it that big base in the show? Anyway, it was a cool show. I think you'd like it. That's just mainstream anime. You got to branch out. Well, probably, but I mean, like, it just puts me off a lot. You're watching the wrong anime, my dude. I'm not watching anime. That's just what I fucking see on YouTube and Twitter. Way too many anime fans are reactionaries. Way too many anime fans are fucking Nazis. I made a whole video on it. Yeah, lolly. Is that what's the definition of lolly? Is it just some like pedo shit or something? I will never be a weeb. Heron trade. Yeah, I assume they are phrasemonger. I think they always have been. Oh, I need to watch Candyman. I do like the actor. He played Dr. Manhattan in HBO's Watchmen. He was cool. Oh, the mountain base at the end is from the Thrawn books. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's full of like clone commandos, and Gregor was in that episode. That was cool. Oh, they're ending poppy farming again. It's from Lolita. Okay, that book and film. Have I tried watching Avatar? Here's the thing, right? For people trying to convert me into an anime fan, most animes have so many fucking episodes, I would never be bothered simply for the time commitment alone. Like, I'm trying to fucking finish Vikings, which I started, like, 9 months ago, and I'm only on season 3, because I just keep getting distracted. To be honest, in my free time, I prefer playing video games over anything else. I really watch TV when I work out. I'm getting an exercise bike soon, so maybe it will go up and stuff. Oh, man, I'm just need so bad when I'm done. Lolly's a female underage child. Or a childlike character. Oh, okay. That sounds fucked up. Yeah, Pokemon was kind of weird as well when I used to watch it. Yeah, lollies. That's the main thing linking anime fans and libertarians. Doesn't One Piece have like 1,000 episodes or something? Who has time to watch the whole of One Piece? Ghost in the Shell, never watched. Yeah, people are getting very... Little Fox, I agree. People are getting very offended I don't want to watch anime. One Piece has 900 and counting. Fucking hell. They're the same thing. Yeah, Red Lead, I agree. Fuck One Piece. It's just weird. Just like some pirate with like massive fucking arms or something. I just don't like anime. I don't know. Oh, Arlo, Avatar was made by the guy who does the Clone Wars, and Star Wars Rebels and Mandalorian. Dave Filoni, like, he worked loads in Avatar, actually. Which is cool. Liking anime is not a personality. The thing is, liking anime is not a personality, but disliking anime is a very legit personality, in my opinion. Anime does suck, though. Anime fans are literally the worst. Just convert to VTubing. Yeah, VTubing, I never even knew that was until Sirius became a full-time VTuber. You can get up to date with One Piece watching a 3-hour lecture. Have I watched Veep? Nah, like, seriously, comedies I will never watch, like, again, probably. Like, I've had my comedy fill when I was younger. Simpsons, like, even Matt Groening's new show, Disenchantment, I only finished one season. To be honest, like, what's on my list? I want to finish Vikings. After that, I don't really know. I haven't really been watching much TV. I wanted to finish The Young Pope. I watched season 1. It's Jude Law as the Pope. And then season 2 is John Malkovich. I just didn't finish it. And then, what's it? Getting a cold or something. Cab Despised Laughter. I actually love taking the piss out of people. No, I do. It's weird because I'm considered by a lot of people like to be a funny person, but I just don't fucking like watching comedies for some reason. Anyway, I think I'm gonna end that here. I streamed today because I couldn't stream tomorrow, so what I did was I filmed my video tonight about David Pakman, and I'll edit it tomorrow night, so that go up tomorrow. Again, if anyone I'll end it with this, and let's hope it's not COVID. Yeah, I hope it's not. I'll end it with this. If anyone knows anything about North Korean defectors, ones who are right-wing grifters, because there's one I'm going to make a video on, and ones you can genuinely trust, like more or less about their opinion on North Korea, give me like a message on Instagram or Discord, because I really need some like good places to look. Good night, funny knuckle. Yeah, that's really my new name. Now, someone already said it was a positive thing. They're like, yeah, you don't start telling jokes and shit. You just get straight to the point. Yeah, Yon Me. Yeah, that's who I'm making the video on. Thanks so much, Katie, for the $10. Super nice of you, as usual at this point. Adios, folks. Get better, Cav. I'm sure I'm fine. I'll take a COVID test when I'm done, but I don't think I have it. No, on 030, I haven't made a David Pakman video. I've recorded it. I'm making it tomorrow. I'm going to edit tomorrow. I've been calling you the funny Ackle when I recommend you to my friends for like 5 months because I'm weirdo. That's pretty funny. I wouldn't really say you'd watch my my content can be funny when I'm roasting anti-SJWs like Geeks and Gamers. When Zack Snyder just absolutely roasted him to his face, that was funny. I like to have a bit of fun with the Fortnite stuff was fun, but yeah, I'm generally not too funny in my videos. Peace, Cav. Yeah, see you later, Tom. Summer cold, it sucks. Yeah, I hope I'm not getting one, but it's just the nose at the moment. I'm not free. Yeah, I'm it now. Anyway, another stream on Wednesday night, hopefully. So be ready for that. And someone asked earlier, so live stream archives. Oh, sorry, live stream archives. Kavernacle Extra, my second channel. The Snyder roast felt good. Oh yeah, I'll never get over it. It's so fucking funny. Yeah, see you guys later. If you want to message me anything, Discord and Instagram are the best. If I don't follow you on Twitter. But anyway, see you guys on Wednesday. Get ready for the videos this week, I guess. Alright then, thanks for watching everyone.